Hello everyone, Aaron Stewart here with Manhattan Parks and Recreation, taking you through another Move MHK Monday. And today we're going to be talking about cost recovery. So what is cost recovery? Cost recovery is the amount of revenue that we generate versus the amount of expenses it costs to run all of our programs and services. Last year we generated about $2.4 million in revenue, or a 22% recovery rate, meaning we subsidized our programs with $8.4 million in tax dollars. That's a pretty significant number, so you can see why we want to try to shrink that down. So we're revising our existing cost recovery policy and presenting this to the commission as part of the 2025 budget process. And so some of the new policy objectives are to achieve a 35 to 40% cost recovery rate. And we're not going to jump into that 1 year because that'd be a huge jump from 22 to 35%, right? So we do want to work to that over the next 5 to 10 years. So minimizing the impact to families and gradually increasing those fees. But the end game here is to get to that 35 to 40% recovery rate. So why should we do that? Well, we want to enhance the financial sustainability of the program. The more stable we are, the better we're going to be at offering consistent services at a high level. It also actually provides a better opportunity for us to provide equity to those in financial need. And with the addition of the Manhattan Parks and Rec Foundation, that is another arm that then backs those scholarship funds with their scholarship program at that foundation. So we appreciate their help in allowing us to achieve that 35 to 40% cost recovery rate. So providing universal access financially, but also regardless of your ability, is highly important. So we've taken that into account in this policy and want to make sure that we're aligning our resources with the community's priorities. So that's kind of the policy objectives. So the methodology behind that, you may have seen a pyramid out there before with our existing policy of 5 sections of the pyramid, and you work your way up. Well, we're reducing that to 3 to make it a little simpler. And the essential programs, so arts and humanities, like Arts in the Park, is a 0 to 35% cost recovery. Arts in the Park is a prime example. We believe that's a high benefit to the community, and therefore we offer it for free. Important programs, 35 to 75% cost recovery. So we usually throw youth sports somewhere in there, recognizing that youth, whether it be sports or another program, benefit as they mature into adults from these types of community programs. So we throw that in the middle. There is some individual benefit to kids participating in a particular program, sports or otherwise. So we recognize that that one's in the middle. And then the value added. Now, even though we don't offer this service, it's one I like to use as an example, which is personal training, 100%, like 75% beyond. That one in particular would be 100% cost recovery because it's highly individual. It doesn't really benefit the community for me to get personal training. It really just benefits me. So those are kind of the 3 levels. Part of doing this is we want to do cost of service analysis, make sure that we understand all direct and indirect costs that are going into that. Right now, our policy only kind of looks at operational costs. So it doesn't take into account, what Parks is doing to correct fields and all of those items that we need to take into account as we offer programs. We also want to apply an entrepreneurial approach. I mean, if the program is in high demand and people are willing to pay for it, we should charge for that service. Again, having the backing of that equity piece and making sure that people that need it have that scholarship opportunity to come in, maybe even down to $0, allows us to apply that entrepreneurial approach without impacting those who need the financial assistance. And then, of course, cost reduction. That's an easy way to close that gap. A prime example is we bought a robotic painter this year that we use to paint our athletic field. We can paint a soccer field in 22 minutes. And that's full size. We're at 2 to 3 hours with a few personnel, 2 to 3 personnel. Now it takes one, they let the machine work, and it paints all the fields out in Annenberg while they're off doing other tasks. So it increased our productivity. So all of those approaches allow us to get a better cost recovery methodology and policy in place. Again, we're committed to the equity, making sure that everybody has access. And we want to make sure that we're doing this over time. So we're going to start looking at our programs and moving forward. And I encourage you to tune in August 13th as we present this to the City Commission as part of our 2025 budget process. So we received one question this week, and that related to the addition of sand volleyball court. So I would point you to the City Park concept plan out of the Move MHK plan. There is a call for additional volleyball courts. We recognize how popular that program and that facility is at City Park, and we do intend to add additional to it.